To discuss the retirement of the service chiefs and its implications, I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by a legal practitioner, Mr. Festus Keyamo. Thank you so much for making it here tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I can see from the smile on your face, you've been pushing for this for quite a while. And well, let's start. How did you feel when you heard the announcement today?
Well, I felt vindicated because the most important part of that statement, which you did not read, that was released by Dr. Ruben Abati, is the fact that for the first time in the history of this country, the names have been sent to the National Assembly for confirmation. Now, that has not been done before, and that has been my grouse, because the appointments of service chiefs, they are like every other political appointments, like the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the President of the Court of Appeal, even the Chairman of the EFCC, ICPC, and other agencies, ministers, they all go to the National Assembly for confirmation. So why were the appointments of service chiefs different? Especially when the Armed Forces Act clearly states in Section 18 that their appointment must be subject to confirmation by the National Assembly. Now, this has not been done all these years. And people may wonder that what is the jurisprudence behind this? Why is Keyamo pushing and fight? The real jurisprudence behind this is that it subjects the military to civil authority. That's what people don't know. It gives it doesn't give the idea that they're only, loyal to the commander-in-chief. They must be loyal to the constitution of the country.
I thought the president had the power to do so.
Oh yes, to appoint them?
Yeah.
No, but he has sent the names to the National Assembly. His power to appoint them is subject to approval by the National Assembly. In fact, Obasanjo started this illegality. So all the appointments for Obasanjo's time up to this time, they have all been illegal. And we took up this point when Yar'Adua was in power. We wrote to Yar'Adua, we wrote to Andrew Kade and said, look, this is an anomaly going on. But they did not listen. And that was why we were forced to go to court to prove this point. But happily today, for the first time, after the appointment, their names have been sent to the National Assembly for approval. Let them go and bow before democratic structures like other ministers do, and so that they will have a sense of loyalty not only to the commander-in-chief but to the constitution of the country and other democratic structures. So
beyond this victory now in the courts, what is the proper legal procedure now to be done following sending of names, etc.?
Oh, well, just like
as you say, all the others were done fraudulently in the past.
In fact, it is this the only set of appointments that should even go to both houses. The ministers and others, they go only to the Senate. That's to tell you how profound the provisions of the Armed Forces Act are. That they must go to both houses, not only the Senate, but to the House of Representatives, and they will go through the normal screening process like the ministers go through. Like every other political appointees, they are professionals in the first place. But by these appointments, they are political appointees. That's what people don't know. So their ascension to those offices are not by professional position, by professional qualification. They are political appointees. Okay. And all political appointees, my point is that all political appointees must go to the National Assembly for approval.
Well, you say they're political appointees. Some have argued that by military law, the appointments of the service chiefs must be from a specific rank. And the last ones that are going met that requirement. So what was your problem?
Well, it is just like you say that certain appointments in the judiciary, they must have attained certain number of years first. Yes. So first of all, before you become a Chief Justice of Nigeria, you must have attained a certain number of years. You must have been appointed the Justice of the Supreme Court, on and on. But by appointing you to the office of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, that is a political appointment, because it is confirmed by the National Assembly. So that's the point. So first of all, they are professionals. But secondly, by their appointment, they are political appointees. And so we must also commend the Attorney General of the Federation for not even taking up the appeal on this matter, because to be fair to him, it was not his tenure that started this illegality. But once we fought the case in court, they challenged my local standard in court, but the court threw that away and said, look, we are challenging the constitutionality of the action of the president, and as such, we should have locus. So quickly, and by that, and he said, look, for my information, they advised the president correctly that, look, there was no point appealing this judgment, that the judgment is correct.
So sorry, quickly now, before we go, so according to you, the previous chiefs were never chiefs?
Never chiefs. By the judgment of the courts. They were never.
Legal practitioner Mr. Festus Keyamo, thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10.
God bless.